The $1 trillion question, when will XRP rise? You know, I recorded this opening a few times, trying to make an April Fool's joke saying that, you know, it's never going to rise, and I've decided to sell all my XRP for Bitcoin. I couldn't even take myself seriously. You guys already know the deal. We ain't going anywhere, and we've been through enough that I don't think we need any more April Fool's jokes against the XRP community. So I'm going to refrain from that. But without further ado, folks, I hope everybody had a blessed Easter weekend. I was trying to get this video out yesterday, but spent all day with the family and didn't end up getting this one out here till this morning. But at least we do get to take a look at these markets real quick, and then I'm going to show you what to watch out for this week coming up. And then we're going to talk about when XRP will rise, in my honest opinion. No April Fool's jokes. Let's get started, folks. You know, it's interesting. I wake up this morning, check Twitter real quick, and I got everybody saying that there's a bloodbath in crypto this morning. This move right here is not a bloodbath, folks. This move right here, I mean, this is a hit. I don't even know if I'd call this one a bloodbath, but this is a hit, down 17%. This little tiny move, I mean, this barely woke me up this morning, right? And so we got to have perspective, right? Now, that being said, what I am watching out for is the potential for that double top to come in before we do this corrective structure that I do believe is coming in. So I'm watching for a double top to get set. Right now, we almost have a little head and shoulders. We didn't really get much of a head here, but I'm watching for a double top to potentially get set here on Bitcoin before we continue down deeper below that 60K pullback. For XRP, same thing. You know, we did get a little bit of red this morning, back down to about 59 cents briefly. Okay. And it's important to understand because a lot of people want to say that, you know, the first of the month, the price dumps like religiously, you know, because Ripple's dumping their XRP from escrow. That's not true, right? It's just not true. Like today, XRP, and like the last few years, really, XRP has been trading with the broader market, and Bitcoin was due for a little correction. We get it. We go down, and we're down, what, 2%? And we're down nothing, right? So this idea that Ripple dumps on us the first of the month, that's a joke in and of itself. It's just not proven by the data. But nonetheless, folks want to find a reason to justify why XRP hasn't gone higher yet. And I'm going to talk about that more later in this video. Now, continuing on here, folks, key events coming up this week. We got ISM manufacturing PMI data on Monday. Today, JOLTS job openings data on Tuesday. OPEC meeting Wednesday. Fed Chair Powell going to bless us with his presence on Wednesday. We get the jobs report on Friday with a total of 14 Fed speakers blessing us with their presence this week. Big week ahead as we start off Q2 2024. I got a question for everyone down below. Did you guys achieve your Q1 objectives and targets, right? We're already one quarter into 2024. We're already flying. We're already rocking and rolling. There's plenty of distractions. I'm sure you can find a reason or excuse why you didn't achieve your goals, you know, hit your targets. But we've already finished Q1. It's time to hone in. He who gets focused first and stays focused longest will win most. Now's our time to get locked in. Now, I know what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with guys like Charlie Gasparino, which, you know, most of the time it's pretty funny and good-hearted, and I do get a laugh out of Charlie. But he just has some ridiculous takes as well. A reminder to the XRP community, so far 2 federal judges, including the one considered the dean of corporate law, judiciary, Rakoff, have scoffed at arguments using Judge Torres' Ripple ruling as precedent because the ruling itself is so incoherent. That's just not true. It's actually very, very coherent, very specific to 3 different types of sales by Ripple. I mean, it's not being scoffed off at all. It's a different set of facts and circumstances. No one can guarantee the ruling gets thrown out and XRP being declared an unregistered security, but the signs are there that her legal analysis is faulty. It's just a joke because the judge already smacked down the interlocutory appeal from the SEC, right? And at this point, there's no case to be made that XRP in and of itself is a security. If you want to say the XRP being sold by Ripple to institutions is a security because they had some stipulations on the contract, sure, okay, you won. And that's what Judge Torres did rule. And does a fine need to be served up to them? No. And why is Charlie doing this? Because we know who cuts the checks to Fox Business, right? We know who pays them. We know who Charlie is buddy-buddy with, and he's got to protect his buddies. That's what he does. Now, continuing on here with a real legal professional, Stuart Alderati, Rereading Wednesday's Coinbase ruling, basically the SEC sold the judge a bill of goods that she had to accept as true at this stage of the case. Now comes the hard part, producing evidence. My bet, the SEC is all hat, no cattle. So, I think that's an old cowboy saying or a rancher saying that says they got the cowboy hat, but they don't know how to farm or something. They don't have any cattle, I guess. I've never heard that one before, but I like that one from Stu. And once again, that's been the SEC's MO, right? Is basically they bring forward the case, and unless somebody's willing to stand up to them, they just really bank on folks really settling up, kind of bending over, giving it all up, cutting a check, shutting down their business. And then what does it all go back to? It goes back to protecting the incumbents. The incumbents need to figure out DeFi. The incumbents need to figure out this blockchain stuff. So let's slow up everybody else. Let's make everybody else, even who's trying to do things the right way, they're going to have to pay to play. And, look at what JP Morgan did, sending 15 of their executives to Ripple. That's to strong arm the company and try to get them to sell XRP at a discounted price. And we knew that Ripple has been selling it at a discounted price. And so this is what JP and the gang does. They show up at your door and they kind of, mafia style, give you a deal you can't refuse. And even if you do play along with them, they still come at you. So this is what we're up against. You guys know that deal. And part of the legal aspect is, answering the question, when will XRP rise? I'll talk about that here in a second. I wanted to share this with you guys, though, because this is very important. A lot of people say there's no demand for XRP. It's not what the data says. It's what your feelings might say. It might be the FUD that you're trying to spin. It's not what the data says. From Wrath of Kahneman. Some XRP metrics in this brochure, Crypto Landscape in Latin America by Bitso, one of the biggest ODL partners with Ripple, right? Mexico XRP use highlighted as the third most desired asset, volume not disclosed. XRP Mexican peso use in transfers and remittances. This is post MoneyGram. So what we have here, folks, is the recognition. XRP Mexican book is the third preferred book here out of Latin America. That is what this report is saying right here. So while all these guys try to say that there's no demand, that's just so far from the truth. In fact, outside the United States, they love it. And they've had free use of it, right? There's no uncertainty, right? There's full clarity. And, they fire up these corridors, they get them opened up. That's the big thing. Once you get it set, once you get the door open, once that pipeline's laid, we can start to pick up the volume. And that's what comes next. And so let's answer the question that I titled this episode. When will XRP rise? To me, there's really two parts to this. The utility coming in and then the legal clarity. We obviously have basically a matter of legal clarity that XRP is not a security. We understand that. In and of itself, it's not a security, and that's really all we needed to know. Whether it's a currency, a commodity, or the Congress is going to come up with a new definition for these digital assets, doesn't really matter. We just need to know that it's not a security. And what we're waiting to find is, how can Ripple distribute XRP effectively without an investment contract? That's all that's left to decide in this case. After that's cleared up, then Ripple can go to the partners like Bank of America and others here in the United States, and both sides will know that they have clarity on the deal. That's critical. So it's really DeFi utility coming to the XRP ledger, and then it's going to be that legal victory I'm expecting to come, or slap on the wrist fine for Ripple, that allows them to cut a little check, move about their day, and move forward in business with full clarity. That's what we're waiting on. Now, speaking to DeFi, though, this is what it's about right here. Because a lot of folks, this is a post that Crypto Area put out about blockchain backer talking about developer activity, right? It's all about the developers, right? Well, I would argue it's about who the hell is actually using your blockchain that matters, because you can have 20,000 nerds building on your project. That ain't going to move the needle if no one that actually who moves money is using your project, right? You can build the coolest little deal, right? Is anybody that matters using your blockchain? Well, as we know with Ripple and XRP, right? There's hundreds of people, hundreds of financial institutions that are looking to get access to Ripple's products, and including XRP. So someone's asking, where's all the devs for XRP, and what happened here? The XRPL has been handcuffed to Joel Katz's payment first strategy when the whole of crypto wants DeFi. That's where the money is. What does XRPL need to be fully caught up in DeFi? Just AMMs. So someone's asking, what do we need to be caught up in DeFi? Crippen Ryder responds, Payments is one of the most important use cases in the space, and the XRPL is designed specifically for it. Yeah, don't give up on payments. So it is the number one, and if you don't have that, you don't have anything else. You can build the coolest little crap, right? Your shiny little toy that you build as a developer, right? Unless somebody can send a payment efficiently, what does it matter? Unless somebody who matters, who actually moves significant volumes of value, what does it matter? XRPL needs not only AMM, but also the most advanced DEX architecture available in order to attract the most liquidity in comparison to all other chains out there. This is very important right here, folks. We need the most advanced DEX architecture available in order to attract the most liquidity in comparison to all the other chains out there. We need borrowing and lending, see securitize. Resolve front running. Yes, it's solvable on the XRPL. And actually, I read that the AMM is really going to help with that too. It'll be, almost no front running, not really much opportunity for front running because there's no mining. Digital identity, and that's decentralized identity. Permissioned order books and pools. Price oracle, dynamic fees, optimized price discovery. Remember, the oracles, what gets interesting about that is the ability to pull off-chain assets and prices and data and bring it on-chain, right? What's the price of gold at? What's the price of silver at? Bringing that on-chain or any other data that you need, right? Distinct pool management, various invariants, that's a phrase, various invariants based on asset pairs in pool, votable via AMM vote. So you need to be able to manage these pools, right? Composability on-chain. We'll most likely need to include hooks at some time if we want to keep up with Uniswap, even if I'm still not totally sold on it. Yeah, we got to work on hooks. We got to make sure it's secure. And eventually I do think that some version of it does come to mainnet. Connected to every interoperability solution imaginable. Yes, 100%. And you're seeing all the bridges get built right now. We have dozens upon dozens of interoperability bridges being built in and around connecting to the XRP ledger right now. More XRP ledger token listings on centralized exchanges. Well, that's a matter of getting these, legitimate projects to come to the XRPL, right? The only, and I guess that only means so much because a lot of the meme coins are being listed on these centralized exchanges, right? But we want a higher class of XRP ledger token issuers. That's what we want. That's probably a lot more than I forgot to mention. Yeah, 1 second after sending the reply, I also remembered that we need zero knowledge proof solutions that would improve privacy. Yep. So that's the first part. We need this DeFi. And is the AMM going live in 9 days now? Is that going to be the flip of the switch? No, but it's the start. It's a trajectory. It's accelerant, right? It's momentum. And this is going to be putting us in the right direction. So when will XRP rise? I don't expect it to rise in 9 days when AMM goes live. But is XRP going to be higher, over the course of the next 2 years because we have AMM? Yes, that's one part of this. And it's part of the DeFi that is being built out over here, right? This is the main driver. The other part of it is going to be the legal aspect. And so right now we're watching March 22nd is when the SEC filed the initial remedies brief. We got to read that. And boy, did we get to acknowledge some things with the SEC that we were called crazy for, right? 80 institutions after the lawsuit pulling up to Ripple and saying, yes, please, we'll take some XRP, right? Plenty of deals that they cited, right? And so that confirms much of what we've been saying, that there is still a large amount of demand for XRP, okay? And on April 22nd, we get Ripple's response. And then on May 6th, we get the final response reply brief from the SEC, and then the remedies phase will conclude. Shortly after May 6th, they have some time to, complete all the redactions that they want. But then after that, case is basically done. And then we move and we wait for Judge Torres to rule. Now, most people are saying it's going to take a couple months. So that would put us out till about July, August, September, right? 2 to 4 months from when this case, all the evidence is submitted, all the briefs are done. We wait for Judge Torres' answer. That's going to be coming in May. And so we're out till July, August, September. So I would watch for those, any time between now and then for the legal pump. Okay. So there's two parts to this. There's the DeFi pump and then there's the legal pump. And this is exactly what happened back in 2021. Mr. Huber reminds us, do you recall the peak in 2021 when Joel Katz pinpointed the exact peak? The following observations: Ripple didn't sell any more XRP in the first 22 weeks after the SEC lawsuit was filed, according to circulating supply data. Jed McCaleb also halted his sales for a period. Between April 4th and 8th, various rulings were issued. The SEC was denied disclosure and insight into the personal finances of Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse, and the SEC was ordered to disclose the Hinman documents for the first time. XRP's value surged by approximately 250% within 10 days, reaching its peak on April 14th, 2021. So after we got the Hinman documents, right, and the SEC was given that order, right, after that order, that's when XRP took off, and the broader space was going up during that time as well. So it was the broader momentum behind the crypto space, and then we get the SEC being ordered to disclose the Hinman documents. XRP goes up 250% in 10 days, and that's when it went to about $2, right? 4 weeks later, the supply data from Ripple began to exhibit erratic behavior. These figures, always delayed by 2 weeks, revealed a buyback of roughly 10 billion XRP and then a sale of about 10.7 billion XRP in the first week of May, resulting in net sales of 700 million XRP since December 2020. This buyback of XRP coincided with the decline in Bitcoin from its peak. It leads me to speculate that Ripple might have been selling Bitcoin to buy back XRP to steer liquidity from Bitcoin into their liquid XRP holdings. Unfortunately, this buyback was delayed by 2 weeks, aligning with XRP's price peak, so it doesn't quite match up. However, since the supply data for the 22 weeks preceding this event is missing, the full picture remains elusive. Yeah, I really just wanted to bring up the fact that it was the Hinman document order that really pushed it. Like, we had broader momentum in the crypto space. That was the first peak in April of 2021 when Bitcoin went up to, I think, 60,000 again. And then XRP went up to $2. And that was 10 days after Hinman documents were ordered to be turned over. So I'd watch for, and we got the same pump last year, July 13, 2023, when the summary judgment came out in favor of Ripple, right? So this is what I would watch for. When will XRP rise? Anytime between really now and May is when I would expect a settlement to happen if one does come through. That would be a catalyst. If that doesn't come through, we're waiting until July, August, September for Judge Torres to give her ruling. And maybe it'll be on July 13th once again, just, like it was last year. Pick a time between now and September when Judge Torres brings that final ruling down. I think it's going to be, at worst, a slap on the wrist fine for Ripple. That's going to be a catalyst for XRP to move. And then back to what puts us on this trajectory to rise and sustain a rise in price and go set a new floor is going to be the utility. And we're getting it right now. You can see that we've had NFTs now for a couple years. We're finally getting the AMM, had a bug, had to fix it. Now we're bringing it back, right? And so it is coming. And then we have additional utilities like cross-chain bridge. This is bringing us that interoperability with all these other blockchains, decentralized identity, price oracles. We just got clawbacks. We have other amendments to XLS 56, XLS 60. There's a lot more. I'm not going to bore you to death with all of them, right? But all of this puts together a DeFi ecosystem on the XRP ledger that we are really missing, right? But what do I love about our setup is that we got the payments right first. And we have a company in Ripple that is attracting the top institutions in the world to the XRP ledger. So not only do we have the good DeFi, not only have we built something really cool, right? But we actually have people that matter that want to use it. And I understand all lives matter and everybody's equal. Well, in the world of finance, not everybody's equal, right? When I come to the XRP ledger, it doesn't make a fart in the wind. When these institutions come to the XRP ledger, this is a boom moment, right? And when you can start to raise the liquidity on the XRP ledger substantially by these folks deciding to use it for their flows of liquidity. So that's a two-part answer to the question that we asked here today. Utility, and that's basically starting really now to pick up, and that continues on for the next few years. Really is where we get these tools added. They break, we got to fix them. There's bugs, we got to fix them. But then over the next couple years, right, we get all this in place, and then this is what keeps people in the ecosystem. Instead of selling their XRP and leaving to go to another chain, they move their XRP into a liquidity pool. They stake their XRP here. All of that becomes available over the next couple of years, and it's all part of growing and rising the floor price of XRP. But the next catalyst that I'd watch out for, the next dates, right, between now and May, is when I would expect a settlement if we're going to get it. And then basically July, August, September is the time frame that I'm expecting Judge Torres to give us that final ruling, and I think that that's going to be the next catalyst to get XRP to go up. And to answer the question in simple terms, with a larger window of opportunity between now and the end of 2025, this bull run concludes, and XRP will be brought up with it. It's just so unique, the situation that XRP's in. We get out of this lawsuit, and then we're finally getting utilities, right? So we're uniquely positioned for this bull run, and then the broader momentum, the general bull run behind this space is going to accelerate us higher as well. So I know a lot of people have been waiting. I know a lot of people are losing faith, conviction, but you can't dismiss, you can't discount the fundamentals. If you forgot about them, well, then that's why you come back here. That's why you make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our updates. So once in a while, you can come back and get reminded on just how beautiful this situation is for XRP, how great our fundamentals are, and how much they're growing, right, with the utility. But then what will separate us from the rest of the space by far is the fact that we will have the legal clarity that nobody else has. So the XRP rise is on the way. Your patience will be rewarded. And I appreciate everybody for stopping by. If you could do me a big favor, tap it, smack it, and share it out far and wide. Everything's at ZachRector.com. I appreciate all of you. God bless. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.